last chapter is Cash. So when we stopped there to borrow the shovels, we heard the graphophone playing in the house, and so we got done with the shovels. Pa says, I reckon I better take them back. So we went back to the house. We better take Cash on to Peabody's, Jules said. It won't take but a minute, Pa said. He got down from the wagon. The music was not playing now. Let Vardaman do it, Jules said. He can do it in a half the time you can, or here, you let me. I reckon I better do it, Pa says, long as it was me that borrowed them. So we sat in the wagon, but the music wasn't playing now. I reckon it's a good thing we ain't got one of them. I reckon I wouldn't never get no work done at all for listening to it. I don't know if a little music ain't about the nicest thing a fellow can have. Seems like when he comes in tired of a night, it ain't nothing could rest him like having a little music played and him resting. I have seen them that shuts up like a hand grip with a handle and all, so a fellow can carry it with him wherever he wants. What you reckon he's doing, Jules says. I could have toted them shovels back and forth 10 times by now. Let him take his time, I said. He ain't as spry as you, remember. Why didn't he let me take them back then? We got to get your leg fixed up so we can start home tomorrow. We got plenty of time, I said. I wonder what them machines cost on the installment. Installment of what, Joe said. What you got to buy it with? A fellow can't tell, I said. I could have bought that one from Surratt for $5, I believe. And so Pa come back and we went to Peabody's while we was there. Pa said he was going to the barbershop and get a shave. And so that night he said he had some business to tend to, kind of looking away from us while he said it, with his hair combed, wet and slick and smelling sweet with perfume. But I said, leave him be. I wouldn't mind hearing a little more of that music myself. So next morning he was gone again. Then he come back and told us to get hitched up and ready to take out, and he would meet us. And when they was gone, he said, I don't reckon you got no more money. Peabody just give me enough to pay the hotel with. I said, we don't need nothing else, do we? No, Pa said, no. We don't need nothing. He stood there not looking at me. If it is something we got to have, I reckon maybe Peabody, I said. No, he said, ain't nothing else. You'll wait for me at the corner. Yeah, so this is a Cash. So Joel got the team and come for me, and they fixed me a pallet in the wagon, and we drove across the square to the corner where Pa said. And we was waiting there in the wagon with Dewey Dow and Vardaman eating bananas when we see them coming up the street. Pa was coming along with that kind of daresome and hangdog look all at once, like when he has been up to something he knows Ma ain't going to like, carrying a grip in his hand. And Joel says, who's that? Then we see it wasn't the grip that made him look different, it was his face. And Joel says, he's got them teeth. It was a fact. It made him look a foot taller, kind of holding his head up, hangdog and proud too. And then we see her behind him carrying the other grip, a kind of duck-shaped woman all dressed up with them kind of hard-looking pop eyes, like she was daring her man to say nothing. And there we sat watching them with Dewey Dow and Vardaman's mouth half open and half ate bananas in their hands, and her coming around from behind Pa, looking at us like she dared her man. And then I see that the grip she was carrying was one of them little graphophones. It was for a fact all shut up as pretty as a picture. And every time a new record would come from the mail order, and us sitting in the house in the winter listening to it, I would think what a shame Darrell couldn't be to enjoy it too. But it is better so for him. But it is better so for him. This world is not his world, this life, his life. This world is not his world, this life, his life. It's Cash and Jewel and Vardaman and Dewey Dow. Pa. Pa says, kind of hangdog and proud too, with his teeth and all, even if he wouldn't look at us. Meet Mrs. Bundren, he says. Who's Mrs. Bundren, though? I don't know, like, I feel like that's their family member that they had in that town that Addie was from, because she wanted to get buried in Jefferson. I think they're still in Jefferson, so he got his teeth. So they must have buried the mom already, right? Because they took back the shovels. So one son goes crazy. Darrell, the one that, that was to have really been loyal to his mom. Cash gets his leg pretty much. It got infected, so he's pretty much gonna probably lose his leg. And then you got Jewel, who got burned because Darrell set in that fire. Darrell didn't have to go crazy and like, damn, they really got rid of their own blood, because he just tried to get rid of the problem for them, He seen what was going on. And then you got Dewey Dow getting pregnant, probably by Mr. Whitfield. And then you got the little boy. I don't know, it's a pretty fucked up story, They should just bury the mom there. So it's Darrell, Peabody. And you got Darrell again. I just want to Vardaman, V-A-R-D-A-M-A-N, Vardaman, just so I remember it when I do my little videos. There was a Mr. like Mosley, M-O-S-E-L-E-Y, Mosley. I'm looking for Mr. Whitfield and Armstead. Let me write this down. All right, I appreciate y'all, man. That was the end of the video, and that's pretty much it. Hope y'all enjoy. Have a good weekend.